Hello, and welcome to Resilience Radio bonus episodes. I'm your host, as usual, Irvin Eisenberg. I am owner of Resilience Occupational Therapy and creator of this show. I am diligently working on Season 2 of this show, and Season 1 has just wrapped up. I wanted to, while you wait, give you some material to listen to. So what we have is bonus questions from previous episodes. This week's bonus episode is with Hannah Rohloff. She is a lymphatic worker who specializes in working with cancer patients, but she also works with people who have had gender-affirming surgeries. I talked with her a little bit about gender-affirming surgeries and working with clients who are trans, and get a little bit personal as far as my own biases around people's perspectives of their body. And I really appreciate Hannah's perspective on this. I hope you enjoy this conversation. I've worked a little bit with a trans population, and all of the people I've worked with have been individuals who I would say more than the average individual are self-aware and present in their body. And that tends to be the average person who comes in my door is more that way. And I think about when working with someone who doesn't feel at home in their body to the point that they would have surgery, that it's hard for me to fully grasp as a structural integrator who's trying to get people to fully inhabit their body. The idea of especially removal of something. I think sort of classically about like somebody's about hips. I, in general, want to make people's hips wider and move more, kind of regardless of whether they're a man or a woman. But the idea of a woman wanting to restrict their hip movement because the idea of somebody who doesn't want to be in a woman's body and wants to take on who identifies as male, wants to restrict their hip movement. That's something that as a therapist I would have a lot of trouble with. But I've never actually encountered that. So this may be my own personal biases sort of and worries that don't exist. But as someone who's worked with this population more and who have actually had surgery, I'd be curious if you could speak to, it's always hard to do because I don't want to be asking you to make any generalizations about humans, but sort of how people tend to approach their body or what it is actually offering them as doing these surgeries.
I am not an expert in this field for certain, especially because, I was assigned female at birth, identify as female. And so I have never had the sensation of feeling as if my body was not right and as if my body did not fit my own identity. But I have, in classes I've taken, I have had trans participants say things like, it's like if you're wearing clothes and they never fit right and they always feel uncomfortable and they don't, it's not, every time you look down, it's like, this is not me. Like, this is not me. And so again, not speaking for those folks because I don't know what it is to experience that. But I think the surgery is, you're removing something that you never thought of as part of you. If you're assigned female at birth, but you've always felt male, you're simply removing parts of your body that have never felt right anyway and may cause a lot of dysphoria and self-hatred and self-harm every time you have to think about them and look at them and see them. So I think, for me, I meet people how they identify, and I don't overthink it. I find that many times people come to me and they're terrified. I mean, I have had people who have said, I came to see you because my friend told me that this will be really helpful, but they're like literally shaking at the thought of getting undressed and getting on a table and having a stranger touch their body. So, I always approach those sessions with such care and just try to be present and everything I say and do and every movement I make to tell them that, I see your body, I hear the body that you're telling me you're in. I'm seeing you for who you're telling me you are. And then just be incredibly respectful and careful in my sessions. Those are the folks I tend to say, I'm going to move your arm now. I'm just like a lot of verbal coaching and a lot of prep time before they even get on the table to try to establish a safe container so they do feel like they can be vulnerable with me, because just walking in the door and thinking that they're going to have some other human who might judge their body touch them can be really hard.
And of course, these conversations are both of us being cisgender individuals. It's sort of the trying to imagine anyone else's experience is very difficult. Do you find in people, when you've worked with people who've had gender affirming surgeries, that the body that they have, that they're more able to sort of fully inhabit who they are? Have you worked with people before and after to be able to sort of have that anecdotal first sort of perspective?
It's amazing. Like, people come in after surgery and they are so happy. Like, their body language changes, the way they carry themselves changes, the confidence that they get on the table changes. Like, when people feel like their body actually matches who they feel inside, it's really incredible to watch people come in before surgery and then after surgery, and to see people's bodies change into more of what they feel like. Because certainly I see folks who don't choose to have gender affirming surgeries or aren't yet able to have those or can't afford it, who are often just doing hormone therapy. And even watching bodies change with low doses of hormones can be really rewarding, just to hear people's stories and sort of see them light up as they talk about the ways that they're noticing their body changing.
Well, that's really great to hear. I think about it as not an all an equivalence, which is where some of my, I think I have some of my own personal biases of people, of like women who choose to do corset training. To me, it seems like you're restricting your body in a way that's not what it naturally is, and what are you doing to your floating ribs? And and I have a hang up with that. But and to some degree, though, there are definitely times from a postural standpoint where breast reduction or breast augmentation surgeries might have sort of, a lot of my own biases are coming through in this, obviously, but might have some benefit beyond aesthetic. Not that aesthetic doesn't have benefit in and of itself, but often I think of those as people who are less in touch with their bodies in both of those examples. Whereas, so with the sort of paradigm in my set of biases against cosmetic surgeries that would change your body to, under those circumstances, the sort of paradox of somebody who has gender dysphoria or is not comfortable in the body that they are currently inhabited, that to change something in it sounds like, from what you've described, the people you've observed, they're more inhabiting their body, and it's a change that really is a significant benefit. It's not like a hiding or masking of themselves.
Right. If anything, I would say I would argue it's like a life-saving surgery. If you look at the suicide rates in transgender youth, I often feel that the gender-affirming surgeries may make someone then go on to live a really happy life. As feeling as if I finally look like the person I know I am.
I hope you enjoyed listening to this bonus material. If so, share it with a friend and subscribe via the podcatcher of your choice. While you're there, you can always leave a 5-star review, and that really does help out quite a bit. You've been listening to Resilience Radio bonus material. Take care.